Alrighty, guys. All Facts Media here. My name is Andrew Robinson. I'm joined by my twin brother, Aaron Robinson. And today we are joined by a special guest. We have Connecticut Sun team reporter, Robyn Brown. Robyn, thank you for joining us.
You got it. You got it.
So today we're going to talk about the WNBA bubble. And obviously a lot's been in the media right now just about the NBA bubble and like what's been going on down there. So kind of wanted to get your perspective on kind of what it's been like for you to be down there in the WNBA bubble for the first couple of days. So the first thing I wanted to ask you was just kind of talk about what is the setup down there? Like what is the structure that the WNBA is doing down there in terms of the restart and just kind of get the season back on track?
Yeah, so all 12 teams are here in Bradenton, Florida on IMG's campus. We're spread out between hotels, villas, and lodges, and everything's on a schedule. So there are certain times the courts are available, your training time, your weight room time. I mean, like the matrix of this Excel spreadsheet is just, it's unbelievable the way that they've broken this down. We have 2 weeks of training camp. About that, we trying to squeeze in practices, media days, media availability before the season kicks off on July 26th is our first game. 22 games, and if you look at specifically the Sun in August, we play every other day. So August 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th, literally every other day. So I think our players' bodies are going to feel that. So I think the focus right now is definitely conditioning. And we have a big new roster. So just a lot of feeling out that chemistry.
Now, in terms of the virus, obviously, you know, this COVID pandemic has caused drastic changes. You know, I know the NBA, I've heard there's these butters that the players are wearing or supposedly they had the option to wear or not wear. What is the WNBA doing in you guys' bubble, you know, to kind of combat this pandemic and keep everybody safe?
So we go through daily testing. Players, coaches, staff, we all have the same protocol that we follow. Every single morning we go through a temperature check. Before practice starts, another temperature check. We have testing of temperature checks, a throat swab, and a nasal swab as well. So every single day they are testing us, and we are going through protocol to be cleared to just be around our players because we're with them 24/7. So I think they're doing a due diligence. I mean, I won't say I enjoy having something put up my nose every single day, so that's a commitment to go through that. But they just are trying their best to, you know, keep us safe, having people wear masks when we're walking around campus, riding our bikes, on golf carts. So just like, you know, social distancing as best we can. But for the most part, our teams are pretty separate right now. So you're really just with your organization, not a lot of co-mingling. But they're doing the best they can, I think.
So, I mean, give us like a regular day in the life, you know, in the bubble. Like, what would a normal schedule look like for you guys down there at IMG?
I mean, my schedule is a little different, so I'll give you like a player schedule just so you can understand what they're going through, because they don't have these abundance of meetings. But I'd say typically on a day in the morning, you're in the weight room, so they have weightlifting time that they're able to go to. Then they go to their training table. So if they need ankles wrapped, pre-massages for, practices. And then our practices are 3 hours right now. So we have a film session before, you know, we go through a 3-hour practice. You have the option for a 2-a-day later in the day if you want. So sometimes a few of our players go back at night to get shots up. And then we headed straight into testing, into ice baths, massage therapy. It's a full day. I'm not going to lie to you. So they're going at it to really prepare themselves because they've been off this whole time, right? You know, like they're not to be able to jump into, you know, profession as a professional athlete, like their bodies need to build up that stamina again. So they're going through it right now to be prepared for the start of season.
Yeah. Now, what type of activity do they have, you know, on the players' free time? You know, I know like the NBA guys, they said they had, golf, and some players are fishing and video games and this and that. What does WNBA have available for the players, if they want to, have some fun on their downtime?
Yeah, there are golf courses here and tennis courts. We have not been allowed on them yet because we were going through a 14 days just to make sure that, as many people are safe as possible. There's cornhole, but I know for us specifically, we brought cornhole boards and can jam and cards and different things. There are player lounges here for players to go into. So I haven't been into one of those. But they're just hanging out. Like, I feel like they're really just bonding, getting to know each other. We have 6 new people on a 12-man roster, so it's half our team. So just like a lot of chilling by the pool, playing Uno, I heard. So they're just kicking back. I think they're pretty tired after practices, so they're chilling.
Now, the $1,000,000 question: how is the food down there? I mean, we've seen a lot on social media. I mean, are you guys eating good down there or what?
So the first 4 days of quarantine were a little tough when you couldn't leave, and so it was whatever was brought to you. Now I think the food is really good. It's, a buffet style. You can't pick it yourself, so they have people serving you with gloves and everything just to be safe, but there are plenty of options. And if a player doesn't want to eat something, they're allowed to receive per diem. So then they could order food out and food could be delivered and security will bring it to you. But I like it. I mean, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I think it's gotten a lot better.
Now, obviously, you're a member of the media. So your typical day is different than a player's typical day. So, talk about, your experience down there, just covering the team, being down there with the bubble and that whole experience, what it's been like for you.
Yeah. It's interesting for me because I'm our team reporter, so all of my content is just focused on the Sun, but like my neighbor's Brittany Griner, and when I'm running down the street and I like run by and had a moment with Diana Taurasi, and you have to be your professional, right? But for me, I grew up just admiring these women. I think DT is the GOAT. And so just having that casually, the Mystics are my neighbors, the Seattle Storm are my neighbors. So you walk out onto your porch and Sue Bird's just walking by and you're just like, hey, because it's just us here. But just such strong and powerful women. So it's just interesting to see you're waiting in line to get food and Derek Fisher is, waiting at the salad bar ahead of you. So it's almost like an alternate universe. It doesn't feel real a little bit. So I'm definitely going to have plenty of stories to tell one day, I think, of all my different interactions living here for the next 3 months.
For sure. And speaking of that moment with Diana Taurasi, for those who don't know, kind of explain to the viewers kind of what happened with that and what that was like for you.
Yeah, so I really enjoy running, despite the humidity here. It's crazy, but I was running down the road, had my AirPods in, and I could hear a golf cart coming on the left side of me, so I lowered the volume just to make sure I could kind of steer out the way. And all of a sudden, I look up, and Diana Taurasi is on the back of the Phoenix Mercury golf cart and yells to me. She says, like, "You go, girl!" And I had to pause because I was so taken aback. Like, that's Diana Taurasi shouting to little me, just running down the side of, just the sidewalk. So top 10 moment of my life. And if Diana ever sees this, hopefully in 3 months, we'll be like bubble besties or something. And, I'll get a photo or something like that.
Now, you mentioned the Mystics earlier. And obviously, their best player, Elena, has been in the news recently, obviously, for everything that she said about what she's going on with her illness and the controversy with the WNBA, I guess, electing. Well, finally, they said they're going to come out and pay her. But I guess, what are your thoughts on that issue? What have you heard about how that's been handled? And I guess, what are your general thoughts about that whole situation?
Yeah. I read her article that, was in the Players Tribune and about her taking pills a day. I'm not a doctor, so, I don't know what she's feeling or what she's going through, but she's been open about facing and battling this Lyme disease, and we don't know, what the effect coronavirus could take, to her body. I'm confused by the league's decision saying that her doctor was wrong. I think that she is one of the most valuable players in this league, her platform, her presence. And so I do not think that she should have to make a decision of getting a salary or risking her life. So that just doesn't add up to me. I don't know what decision she's going to make, but I think she'll make the best decision that's in her best interest, for her life. That's obviously bigger than the game of basketball.
Right. So kind of switching gears a little bit to kind of some on-the-court stuff, the Sun. You guys are coming off a big season last year. You guys won the WNBA Finals. And kind of just talk about this year, like what you guys have, coming back this year. What are you guys looking forward to this season? And what do you think the prospects are for this team?
Yeah, so getting all the ways to Game 5 last year, 3 minutes to go, and just having that, slip out of your fingers. I know I don't forget watching the red confetti fall down, in DC and the Mystics winning their title. So I know if I don't forget that, I know our players certainly, don't forget that moment. It's a brand new roster. Courtney Williams is gone. Jonquel Jones has decided to opt out, who, is one of the biggest faces of our team without a doubt. But we have a lot of newcomers, and one of those newcomers is Dawana Bonner, and the versatility that this women's game has is unbelievable. To watch her in practice, she can drive to the rim, she can shoot it from deep, she's fearless, and she's a veteran. She has that winning pedigree that she's bringing from Phoenix. 6th Woman of the Year, WNBA All-Star. I think that she has been in the shadows a little bit of Taurasi and Brittany Griner, and she now has a new team. She's played in Phoenix her entire career. So I think she's going to shock a lot of people when we open up, and that's going to be a big storyline.
Now, you mentioned players opting out. Obviously, Maya Moore opted out. She's going to, take the season off. Natasha Clouds opted out of the restart to fight social justice. Has there been conversations about, what the players want to do to kind of just keep the movement going? And, the players that did opt in to play, how they're going to, go about sending a message on the court or through whatever means that they might want to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we asked our players how they wanted to approach this season. And I have 2 things that I can tell you. One is that we asked them if they would like to put Breonna Taylor's name on the back of their jerseys. And all 12 of our players said yes. So this season, Breonna Taylor's name will be on the back of our navy and our orange jerseys for every single game. They want people to hear her name. They want people to know her story. And so that was one way that they thought, look at the exposure that's going to get. Nationally televised games, ESPN, CBS Sports, all of our local, in the New England area from Connecticut to Boston, we're going to see that. And then secondly, our players in our front office, our campaign this year is called Change Can't Wait. And it's all about providing resources, educating people, voting, letting them know where they can go, how they can access these resources. And our players are really going to make that known through our social channels on how they want to be a part of this movement and the Black Lives Matter movement. So I think in the weeks to come, you're going to see different ways that we're approaching this. And we're really excited to be a part of something so monumental.
Sure. On that same token, talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, there was also kind of a lot in the media about the owner of the Elena Dream and the state senator who kind of spoke out against the Black Lives Matter movement. What are your thoughts on that? Like, a lot of players were thinking that she should be removed from being able to own the team. I know a lot of players were on WNBA. We're on Twitter asking WNBA to step in. What are your thoughts on kind of the whole situation?
Yeah, I've read Kelly Loeffler's words, and and I disagree with every stance that she takes. This league is about unity, and it's about your differences and being proud of who you are. And I don't think that she stands for those things. I don't think she understands what our league stands for and the incredible women and the work that they do, not just as players, but just as activists. I mean, they are in the community. You have seen them stand on the front lines of social issues for years. And I do not think that that aligns with what Kelly's statements were. And I think that the players of the Atlanta Dream are going to continue to make that known, and that a decision will be made on whether she stays or whether she goes. And I think it's very clear what the players in this league and of the Dream want, and I don't think that picture includes her.
Now, WNBA has seen a lot of growth over the past couple of years. You know, obviously, last year's finals was an extremely exciting series. Went to Game 5. Obviously, when Kobe Bryant passed, there was a lot about, you know, women's basketball and everything. So, talk about the growth of the WNBA and, you know, just the time that we're in now, with you guys having this opportunity and this platform, you know, where very few sports are going to be on TV. So, you know, just talk about the growth of the league and this time period, especially for the WNBA.
It's a huge time. I mean, people want to watch women's sports. People are engaged in women's basketball. The talent that these players have is so immense that you just need to watch. You just need to tune in. You just need to open your ears and your eyes, because the skills of these players are so incredible, and it's so pure, right? Because the athleticism is different from a man. We aren't dunking up and down the court every single day. So the shooting form is pure. The handles and the way that these players dribble, the way that they think about the game and analyze the film is so in depth. That it's just about capitalizing on this movement, right? Live sports are barely going on. So if you want live sports and you want quality basketball and you want to watch something amazing on your television screen, well, the opportunity is right here, right? The WNBA is going, we're, I think, single digits away from tip-off. So it's going to be on your television screen. And to me, it'd be a big shame if you're not tuning in to watch this season.
Well, I mean, I know that, you know, for me and my brother here at All Facts, we're definitely big supporters of the WNBA, and you guys are the Connecticut Sun, so we definitely wish you guys the best. For me, I just want to ask you on a lighter note, for you, what do you think has been the most peculiar or interesting or just funny thing that you've seen in the bubble go on thus far?
Oh, gosh. Okay, putting me on the spot. It's weird because you walk into this hotel, right? And that's where everyone gets their food. And it's just Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi sitting at one table, and Bill Laimbeer standing in the line in front of you, and Asia Wilson from the Aces just dancing through the hallway. And it's all these huge names that I admire, you know, that I've looked up to, that have inspired me, and they're just my neighbors. Like, this isn't casual, and people are treating this like it's a casual situation. So it's amazing to just like look around and see these faces, people that you follow on social media, you know, like do you guys follow Brittany Sykes from the Los Angeles Sparks?
I heard of her, but I see stuff on my timeline, but I don't follow her. But I see her stuff on my timeline from time to time. She's just a ball of energy, and so like I watch her, and I love the things that she posts, and she's just hilarious. And just to see her in passing, you know, it's just like it takes you back, and it's just, the hours are long, but it's so worth it. And I'm so happy that I made this decision to have this experience and come down here. The players on my team, I'm biased, but they are just incredible to work with. They make my job so easy. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of the Baby D content
go viral, you know, but if you haven't, I'm telling you to tune into our social channels. I had to plug it in there, you know, at Connecticut Sun. But it's a very cool experience, and I wish I had words to describe it, but I think I'm still a little starstruck by it all, and just taking it in.
Now, obviously, you know, we're all QU journalism alums, so I'll be remiss if I didn't mention that before we got off the air. So I guess my question to you would be, you know, how has that experience at QU journalism kind of prepared you for where you are now, and, you know, just how you think that you've used any of those things? I know me and Drew, me personally, I think back to all those days we were in, you know, in the classroom and things that we learned, or back in the media suite with Q30. I'm like, man, like, we're really doing this stuff for real life for our careers. I mean, just talk about that experience and what it's meant for you. I
mean, I know it's just a couple years ago, but being able to work with the two of you, you know, in Q30 at Quinnipiac, I feel like it made me a better reporter. I feel like I learned from both of you as a journalist and the way that you both approach your work. I would not have this job today if I did not attend Quinnipiac. And I wholeheartedly believe that everything I've learned, writing, speaking on air, building rapport with players came from attending that university. And I would recommend to anyone to attend that university. The professors there, I feel, taught me what I needed to know to be successful. And my first job out of college is with this league, like with the WNBA, doing something that I love. And if it wasn't for the education I received there, I wouldn't be in these shoes, and I'm so grateful for it.
Well, I think I speak for both me and Ann. We also learned a lot from you guys, and just watching you guys do your work and you know, reporting games and sitting in Molly Anley's class, and just, you know, watching us all, you know, work together. I think it's something special, you know, that we have going on at Quinnipiac, and you know, thank you for coming on with us today, and wish you guys the best of luck. And I know this won't be the last time we talk, so we'll see you again real soon.
Yep, I appreciate you both. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.